Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Kylie and we do a lot of sewing and crafting around here. And today's project I am so excited about. We are getting back to a thrift flip. I haven't done a thrift flip in so long and truly I love doing these. I love taking something that I like from the thrift store and kind of either modernizing it or making it more my style, making it my size. So what I loved about this dress is, first of all, it's 100% linen and cotton. So I think it's like 50% linen, 50% cotton, which is super important to me when I'm looking for clothing to buy or thrift. I'm always looking for natural fabrics. So this fit the bill and I loved these colors because we are going to Florida soon to visit some family and I just thought this would be so cute as a little matching set. And I don't have a pattern for this. I think I'm just going to self-draft everything. So I have kind of an idea in my mind where I'm gonna head with this, but who knows? I think also the project will just evolve as I start. And speaking of natural fibers, that brings me to today's partner in this video, which is Quince. Quince offers high quality clothing at an accessible price point. Quince cuts out the middleman to offer quality pieces made from materials such as 100% cotton, 100% linen, 100% silk, cashmere, leather, at a fraction of traditional retail prices. In both the clothing I buy and the clothing I make, I am always striving to find natural fibers, which is why I love Quince. I am able to get those quality pieces with natural fibers within my budget. Another small feature I really enjoy as a mom is that all of these are machine washable and able to dry, which is so important to me because my clothes are constantly getting dirty from my toddler. So I love that I don't have to take it to the dry cleaners, but I still get that really nice quality piece. I have been living in these pieces. They are so perfect for every day. You can style them up, you can dress them down. Quince not only offers clothing, they also have amazing bedding, kitchenware, home pieces, and 365-day returns on everything. Be sure to check out Quince, and you can find all of the links in my description box. Thank you again for partnering with me on today's video. I have genuinely been loving these pieces so much. The quality is so good. The texture is so soft and dreamy, breathable. So if you guys are interested, be sure to check out the links below. And thank you again, Quince, for partnering with me today. Without further ado, let's get into this because I am on a bit of a time crunch as per usual. I am always on a time crunch. So let's get started. I don't think I've mentioned it yet, but I want to make a skirt. Sorry if I already have, but the vision is a skirt. I really want shorts under the skirt and I want it to kind of be a wraparound. And I definitely do not have enough of this to make a top and a skirt and the shorts. So I have some fabric here and I'm thinking of pulling one of these to make the shorts underneath since you won't really see it that much. But there is some like pinkies and oranges and like light colors in here. So I'm gonna go through these. This actually used to be our sheet and then somehow it miraculously got a hole in it and we have absolutely no idea. Like literally I was just putting it on the bed one day and there was a giant slash. Actually, I think I was just getting out of bed and there was a slash in the bed, almost like someone just like cut it. It was so bizarre, but it's not usable as a sheet anymore. But this could be a good option. It is much like warmer. Like I feel like this is like such a cool orange, but in the flowers, I feel like, I don't know, that could be an option. This also kind of feels a little thick to me. This one feels much thinner and breathable and kind of matches the flowers a little bit more. Again, I don't think you're gonna be seeing it that much. This is a top sheet because I'm a top sheet hater. So anytime we buy new sheets, I keep the top sheet as fabric. And then there's this one, which is super light and super see-through. So I feel like this is probably not a good option. I like it for its like lightness in terms of like I'm going to be hot, and this is very, very thin and nice, and it does kind of go well again with the flowers. I feel like this one is kind of the closest, but it's really see-through. I don't know. Is it that bad? Because this one is the most breathable for sure, and I feel like it does kind of match the flowers the best. I need to make a decision like now because I need to start cutting. I think the first one's out. So then it's just between. You know what? I'm gonna go for it. It's gonna be the most comfortable, so we'll go with the light one. So as far as patterns are concerned, I did reference the Lane Pants pattern hacked into shorts. That's a mouthful. So I have the Lane Pants, and I've made actually these are Lane Pants right now. These are Lane Pants I made out of a linen tablecloth, and I actually have the exact same of these in shorts. Let me show you. So these are the shorts I made out of the Lane Pants pattern. They're literally identical to the pants I'm wearing right now. They're both made out of linen. It was an attempted video. Maybe it will see the light of day, but I've been trying to work on this for like almost a month and a half now. And I don't know, maybe one day there will be a video with these and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I remember she talked about that way back when. Anyway, we're off track. So I took the pattern pieces from that. So Sydney Graham, who makes the Lane Pants, has a hack to turn her pants into shorts. And from there, I have hacked that pattern even more. So it's kind of not really the same pattern anymore, but I've modified it enough to, I think, fit what we need here. So my requirements for the shorts under this skirt is I want it to have this type of waistband that these have. So it's flat in the front, and then it's elastic in the back. And then I want the skirt to wrap and tie on one side. That's my goal. There are some skirt patterns out there that I did like, but some of them had a zipper, some of them were elastic across the whole waistband, which I didn't want. I really want it to be as easy as possible, as functional as possible. So like, again, I didn't want zippers and stuff like that, but I really didn't want the whole thing to be elastic. I wanted to make a wraparound skirt. So this is just what my mind has come up with as the best solution. So essentially, I would like to make these pants without pockets, and then what I'm going to do is at the side seam, I'm going to have the two skirt panels, and they will not attach over here. They will have ties to attach to cover up the whole short. That is my plan. Will it be good? I don't know. So that's what we're gonna find out. So let's get cutting. Now that I've decided I want to use this pink, I'd like to cut out the fabric for that and start doing fabrication of the shorts, because I'm gonna have to do the front and the back separate, if that makes sense. Let's just get started. I was gonna make it easier on myself and use the existing, I guess it's not a hem because it's a sheet, but I was gonna use the existing like encased edge as like the hem of my shorts. But this is a thrifted bed sheet, so someone has already cut into some of the hem, unfortunately. I did just notice that there is a little bit here, but I don't think it's enough, so I'm just gonna have to hem the shorts myself. But I was like, darn, it's just like an extra step you don't have to do, you know? Hemming your shorts is just so, hemming anything is like my least favorite thing. So, whatever, I'll have to do it, it's fine. You know what, this is so wrinkly, I think I'm gonna iron it first because it's just gonna cut out wonky if I don't. I got a new iron. Everyone say thank you to my mom for my new iron because she, unbeknownst to her, bought it for me. I accidentally didn't click off the Amazon gift card or whatever, and that is the default payment if you have an Amazon account, and it's super annoying, so thanks, Mom. Also, she knows now that I bought the iron. It is so nice though to have a new iron. My old iron, actually, my mom also got me. Like, it was when we were getting college things, she got that for me. So that iron is 10 years old because it was the iron I took to college just with my college dorm room things. So it was in desperate need of replacing. Ooh, there is an edge here that has not been cut open. I wonder if that's enough. Let's see. Unfortunately, I am this much too short. So annoying. So I will have to hem, whatever. It's fine. But let me get these cut out so we can start sewing. I have everything cut out for the shorts. So now I just have to figure out how much of this I want to cut. So I think my thought process was I'm just going to figure out how much I need, like from here to here. Do you know what I mean? Like how much fabric we'll need to cross that. And then I will add my seam allowance as well. So I think that's going to be the move, but I'm a little nervous about doing that. I'm just nervous about it not working out. So I guess I should cut too much because then I can always take away. If I do from this side seam to this side seam, it's about 21.5 inches. Let's see, I'm gonna do this. All right, 22. So it's 22 across, and then I'll need a 1/2 inch for seam allowance. So 22, so that'll be 22.5. And then I'll also need to roll in the raw edge. So let's call that 23. So 23 inches across. Now let me see what it is for the back side, because I'm imagining that the back side is longer. Oh, according to this, it's shorter. I've got it at 19. Interesting. Hold on. I've got to make sure it's not on the waistband. All right, 20 plus 1, so 21. So the front, what did we say? 23 for the front, 21 for the back. I'm nervous to cut into this. I also have to figure out how long I want them to be. So if these are the shorts, these are 13.5. So you know what? We'll do 15 to give myself a lot of room for error. The back of this also has a slit. Here, I'll show you. And I feel like that could maybe be cool to keep, to like show the skirt, but I'm not positive. I might also just sew that up. So the front was 23 and we're cutting it 15. All right. It is definitely just enough, so I should have probably given myself a little bit more room. But what I've decided is I think I'm going to make like bias tape out of this pink color, out of this one. And I would think I'm going to make the top tie off with the pink, and then I'll also do it down the side, and that will just salvage some length for me. But I think it's gonna be cute. Here, let me step back a little. I feel like that's cute. And then it'll tie on the side and then have the little shorts underneath. So let me do my least favorite thing, which is make bias tape. I guess I should think about how much of it I need. I absolutely hate it. I hate it so much, but it's fine, it's fine. I feel like I should also mention it is daytime. It is just so rainy today, so that's why it kind of is so dull and I have my lamp on. But I cut out all of the bias tape strips and I have not joined them together. But nap time is over and that's kind of actually all I had the energy for anyway. So I'm gonna connect all the strips either tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, once that's done, then we can start construction, which will be so fun. I really think that this is gonna come out really good. I'm very excited. It has been a few days and I have not made any more progress, which is probably so ironic to say after I said I'm on a time crunch, But unfortunately, well, fortunately, I'm not on a time crunch anymore. Unfortunately, for the reason why we were moving at the end of June, and unfortunately it has fallen through, so we will not be moving anymore. And I'll talk about that more later. I was going to talk about our moving probably in my next sewing vlog, but it's not happening, so I do have more time because I don't have to devote any energy to packing things up and selling things. But we were definitely bummed that that was the news we received this past weekend. So I took a little break, but now we're back. And yeah, I have done no more work on this. So I have my skirt pieces, my short pieces, and I did cut out bias tape, but I did not stick it all together, like sew it together. So my goal today, I think, is to first complete the front and back of the shorts. That is goal number 1. And then number 2 will be to make all of the bias tape, which, if you're not new here, if you've been around, you know that that's my least favorite thing to do. And if you are new here, you're gonna hear me mention how much I hate making bias tape. Sorry. Anyway, I'm going to rethread my machine with this pink thread that I have to match the shorts. This is actually from some pants I made recently. I got this color pink to match the fabric of that pant because it was top stitching. Actually, it's the other pair I made of these. So I was pattern testing and I made 2 pairs, and the other pair were like a light pink color, so I got some thread for that. But it's nice because it goes perfectly with the fabric I chose for the shorts. So I already have a bobbin wound, I already have the thread, so I'm just going to rethread my machine and get going. So I have the back and the front all done with the waistband. And so how I'm going to do just the elastic in the back is that the front is going to stay like this, nothing extra, and I'm going to add elastic to the back and then tack it down on this side and on this side. And so then how I'm measuring that elastic is I'm going to simply decide the length. So this is from side to side, and then I'm going to cut even a little less than that because you always want it to like scrunch up a little bit. So now I'm going to feed this through the back pant portion so it will scrunch. And then I'm going to attach the pants on, or the shorts, not pants, to just one side. So I want it attached on the left side because the right side is going to have the skirt. From there, I'll see how much more I'm going to do because I really have to do the bias tape at that point, and I just don't want to. So let's get the waistband threaded, and then I'm going to attach the pants on the left side only. And I've been using French seams because I don't have a serger, and that's just my preferred way to finish off my seams. I feel like this is such a cool way to just do the elasticated back. So you can see I tacked it down here and here, and now the back will be scrunchy and the front will be flat. And I just think that that's so cool that I figured out how to do that. I just, on those other pants that I did, the shorts and the pants that I showed earlier in the video, that was the first time I had ever done this type of waistband, like where it's flat on the front and scrunchy in the back, and I just figured it out. So I'm pretty happy with this, and now I'm going to attach these together. here's what we have up till this point. So here's the front. It's attached at the side. And then the back with the elastic. And it'll come here. And this is where I'm going to attach the skirt. So I need to get working on that. And the reason that I need to do the bias tape first is because I'm going to have the like tie over here, and so I need the tie to go on the top of the skirt before I can insert it into there. I need the whole top edge to be finished. So I've been putting it off. I can't put it off anymore. Let's get going. I was sitting here very, very badly making bias tape. Also, nap time's over. Please leave my tripod, please. I got a new tripod and she's obsessed with it. I remembered I have this hot pink bias tape, and wait, where's my skirt? Here it is. How perfect is this with the flower? So I think I'm just gonna use this. Like, why am I making bad bias tape when I have this thrifted, pre-made, perfectly made, like machine-made bias tape? So that makes my life easier, and I wish that I had remembered this sooner so I didn't waste all this time making bias tape. But I'm going to see it through in terms of I have like this much left to iron into like the fourths. So I'm gonna finish it out really quickly, just so that way I have the bias tape in the future, I suppose, and it's like pre-made. It's not made well, but it's at least made. So, and I'm going to then use the pink one because this is so much more fun and honestly better. I wish I'd thought of that sooner. I also just got really lucky that I found some coordinating thread, so I'm going to wind up a bobbin. Hey, please? Okay. Maybe I'll be doing this later. Are you the director? Yeah. Yeah. It's quite the angle you got there. It is very clearly nighttime, and here's where I got to earlier. So I have I'm pretty sure I showed this part, but I have my front and my back, and they are connected at one seam and not the other seam, and they are not connected at like the legs, the inseam, like the crotch. And then I finished my front skirt piece, and here's that hot pink bias tape, and then I also did it down the side, and then here's the tie for tying at the waist. And then here is the back piece, and I did end up closing most of the slit because it started all the way at the top. So the whole thing kind of was just like, it would just be showing the shorts the whole time. So I did it down to here. So there is still like a little bit of slit, which will also help with like movement. But I thought it was like just enough. And then this, since this is the back side, the bias tape is on this side, on the top, and then for the tie at the waist. So I realized that I'm going to need to have my shorts hemmed before I attach my skirt pieces. So I'm going to have to do the inseam before doing this side seam, which is not the usual construction, but that's how I'm going to be able to have my shorts fully hemmed before attaching them to the skirt. Yeah, I'm kind of like still thinking through it, I feel. Let's start with doing the inseam, and then I will come back and see what needs to be done. That sounds good. I've talked about this before on here. I don't know why, no matter what variation of the lane pants I do, I can never get the inseam to match up. If you can see that this piece is like an inch and a half shorter than the other. And I don't know. Yeah, so this time the back is shorter than the front. I don't know. It drives me crazy though, it really does. I guess I could try to figure out the hem on this side and then just attempt to replicate it over here. So I did a baby hem to even out the fact that it was two different lengths. This one was even worse. So I did a baby hem, trimmed it, and then I was just gonna roll it over, like truly do a baby hem. But it actually needed more to then not show for the skirt. So I did a full inch hem. So I think that should be enough. Now the only thing left to do is I'm going to need to also do a little bit on this side of like finishing off the raw edge, because it will show past the, of course my battery died, but I was trying to say some of this edge will show past the shorts. So I need to figure out how much that will be and then kind of do something about the raw edge. The other thing I could do is just fully bias tape this edge so that no matter what shows through, it'll be fine. That's probably the smarter choice. The only thing is I was gonna encase all of them in bias tape to finish the raw edge, but that actually might be the better move, is to encase both the front and back in bias tape first. So that way, when it's all said and done, whatever shows through is all good to go. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. If you couldn't tell, I'm tired, so trying to think through these decisions logically, but I'm also very tired. I'm sure it shows. Honestly, this is the part of self-drafting that I feel like is the hardest. It's like you have to think like 3 steps ahead. You know, like there's not like instructions telling you what to do because they've already thought through what needs to be done first in order to not have to seam rip and like make mistakes. But I kind of like it. Like I kind of like exercising this part of my brain, like forcing myself to have to like think ahead and be like, okay, well, before you just rush into that step, what do you actually have to do? And I feel like I've gotten better at that. I've gotten a lot better at that. If you ever watched one of the first videos I posted making clothes, so the first thing I ever made was, I showed it in my, I think it was my last vlog, the first pair of shorts that I've ever made. And they were, it was actually, you know, it was the first outfit I ever made, and it was these Lane Pants shorts, and same pattern designer, Sydney Graham, her skyline dress hacked into a shirt. And that was my first time ever making a garment, and I feel like it went pretty well for my first time, but there was definitely like, I didn't know what I was doing. And that was my first garment I ever made, and for whatever reason, I had then the confidence to self-draft baby clothes for my daughter. And if you see that video, you see that I was incapable of thinking one step ahead. I also self-drafted this garment out of her clothes, but it was like a stretchy knit fabric, and I was using very stiff woven fabric. So that was really a mistake there, but it was like, it was such a learning curve. And I feel like from then to now, it's been less than a year, and I feel like already I kind of understand better how like garments are designed and thinking of the next step, because in that I was not thinking of the next step at all. And you can watch that video and see how frustrated I was in that. But all that I'm trying to say is I feel like I've gotten really good at thinking of the next step before it has to happen. It's not perfect, but I think I've gotten better. For example, I know that I'm going to have to change my thread out for the hot pink. So before I do that, I'm going to finish off the raw edge with the light pink that's in there now. Thinking ahead, thinking ahead. So let me finish off all these edges, and then we're going to get to constructing the last seam of the shorts, and then I think it's done. Crazy. I think I was successful. I did break about 3 or 4 needles trying to get through the waistband and all of this fabric, But I think I have a little wrap skirt. I'm gonna try it on tomorrow because I just really don't feel like trying it on right now. And then the only other thing I think I'm going to do is, I knew this was gonna happen from like my experimental try-ons, is that I believe, I mean, also this has to stretch out to my waist, but I believe there's gonna be a little bit extra room like at the tie, and I don't want it to sag. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a teeny little buttonhole on either side so that it's like a true wrap skirt. Like I can like feed these little ties through so that it actually will like wrap on top of each other and then tie. That probably makes no sense, but the visual will help tomorrow. So that'll be the only thing I'll have to do tomorrow, is to add a teensy little buttonhole on the front and the back to kind of make a wrap skirt out of it, and then we can start on the top, which I haven't really thought about at all. So I also haven't even tried it on. Like I didn't ever try on this dress before cutting it up, so I don't even know what that top is going to look like currently. We are going to cut it up anyway, but very pleased with this, and I'm excited to show you in better lighting tomorrow. As per usual, I finished everything off camera, so here's the top that I ended up with. And what I did was I took the existing top and I pretty much just cut away all of the pieces that were like frayed from when I took the bias tape off. And then I just cut out a rectangle from the rest of it, like it was either the back or the bottom of the front of the dress, and I knew it was going to be too big, so then I just added elastic, and it's super cute, which I'll show you guys in a minute in the montage. And the skirt is finished as well, and I have my buttonholes that I ended up actually doing by hand because I could not get my machine to do a buttonhole. I've talked about this machine and how much I dislike it on this channel before, and the buttonholes are a big problem, and I need to do something about it because I can't keep doing buttonholes by hand. It's super time consuming and super frustrating. But before I go to the montage, a big thank you again to Quince for partnering with me on today's video. I have been thoroughly enjoying all of my pieces. They are just so comfortable, so breathable, and I love that everything is natural fibers, 100% cotton, 100% linen. It's just so comfortable. If you're interested in any of the pieces I've shown during this video, be sure to check out my links in the description box. And if you are still here, thank you so much for being here. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!